The steering wheel was slick with blood when I pulled him out. "Stay with me!" I screamed, dragging the unconscious man across shattered glass. The Mercedes was already smoking, flames licking up from the engine. "Please, just stay with me." His eyes fluttered open for a second, blue eyes, expensive suit soaked in red. Then he was out again. I didn't know who he was then. I didn't know that saving his life would destroy mine all over again. But I'm getting ahead of myself. My name is Marcus Webb. I deliver food for a living, not because I want to, but because I have to. Every morning at 5 a.m., I'm on my bike. Every night at midnight, I'm still on it. $12 an hour. Tips that barely come. My knees ache, my back screams, but I smile at every door because that's what keeps the ratings up. "Thank you so much," I say to people who don't even look at my face. The money goes to 3 places: rent, my sister Maya's medication, and my medical school fund. That last one is almost a joke. A mason jar with $4,327 after 3 years of saving. Medical school costs $60,000 a year. Do the math. "Marcus, you don't have to do this." Maya said that last Tuesday, watching me count coins on our kitchen table, which was really just a hot plate sitting on a dresser. "Yes, I do." "You could find something else," she said. "Something that doesn't kill you." I looked at her. 16, pale from anemia, dark circles under her eyes no teenager should have. She needs iron infusions every month, $800 each. Insurance covers half. "I'm going to be a doctor, Maya. That's not changing." She smiled, but it was sad. "You sound like Dad." Our father died when I was 17. Heart attack in the middle of his shift at the factory. Since I was 10, he'd been telling me, "Marcus, you're going to be a doctor. You're going to help people. You're going to do what I couldn't." That dream died with him. Without his income, without his insurance, everything collapsed. I'd been accepted into a pre-med program at State on a full ride, the Warren J. Caldwell Merit Scholarship. 2 weeks before freshman year, I got a letter. "We regret to inform you. Administrative review. Discrepancies. Disqualified." I called 17 times. No one answered. No one explained. Loans weren't an option. Dad had died in debt. So I didn't go. I got a job. Then another. Then delivery driving. That was 4 years ago. And I was still delivering pad thai to houses I could never afford when I saw the Mercedes veer off the bridge. It was 11:47 p.m. I was finishing my last delivery, heading home, when I saw it happen. The black Mercedes didn't slow at the curve. It went straight through the guardrail. Metal shrieking. Sparks flying. For a second I thought about keeping going. Not my problem. Not my business. Then I heard my father's voice. "You're going to help people, Marcus." I dumped my bike and ran. The car was on its side in a creek bed. Smoke poured out. Gasoline filled the air. "Help!" I shouted. No one answered. Just me. I smashed the window, glass slicing my palm. The fire grew. I unlocked the door and dragged him out. Heavy dead weight. We made it 15 feet before the car exploded. The blast knocked me forward. My ears rang. Heat burned my back. But he was breathing. "You're okay," I gasped. "Help is coming." His eyes opened, confused. Who are you?" "Just someone who was here." Ambulance sirens filled the air minutes later. They wrapped my bleeding hand. One EMT looked at me and said, "You saved his life." I didn't feel like a hero. I felt exhausted. I went home, washed the blood off, and collapsed into bed. I thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. 3 days later, the envelope came. Thick, cream-colored, my name handwritten. Inside was a letter and a check. $50,000. Signed, Richard Caldwell. That name hit like a punch, because the scholarship that was taken from me was named after Warren J. Caldwell, Richard's father. I stood there staring at the check. Coincidence. It had to be. That night, Maya and I cried on the floor. "You can go back to school. she said. For the first time in 4 years, I felt hope. But hope is dangerous. Because the more I researched Richard Caldwell, the more something didn't add up. He was everywhere online. CEO, philanthropist, donor, big smiles, big speeches about investing in the future. So I went to the university and asked for answers. They shut me down. Confidential, can't discuss it, no exceptions. I tried financial aid, the registrar, even emailed the dean, nothing. Dead ends. And then I met Sophie, a nurse at Mercy General, the hospital they'd taken Caldwell to. She recognized me instantly, the guy who saved him. They're calling you a hero in there. I laughed because it didn't feel like hero work. It felt like a Tuesday. We got coffee. I asked how Caldwell was doing. She said he'd recover. Then I asked the question I couldn't stop thinking about. Is he a good guy? She hesitated, and that hesitation told me more than her words. Define good, she said. Then she leaned in. This is hospital gossip, but a few years ago there was a medical student. Brilliant, top of her class. She was supposed to get a major fellowship, full funding. At the last minute, it was pulled. No explanation, she had to drop out. My stomach tightened. Why? Sophie shook her head. Nobody knows. But people said it was connected to the Caldwell name. That night, I stared at the check again. $50,000. The same name. The same scholarship. The same silence. And that's when something clicked. This wasn't random. This wasn't coincidence. This was a pattern. And the more I dug, the clearer it became. Because I wasn't the only one. I wasn't the only student whose future had been ripped away under that same scholarship. And once I realized that, I knew I couldn't stop. Not now. Not when the truth was right there, waiting to be uncovered. I started researching. Richard Caldwell was everywhere online. CEO of Caldwell Properties, philanthropist, big donor to medical research, education, the arts. I found photos of him at galas, ribbon cuttings, hospital dedications, and then I found an article from 5 years ago. Caldwell Properties announces new merit scholarship program, $2 million endowment. There was a photo, Richard Caldwell standing next to the university president, shaking hands. Behind them, a banner, Warren J. Caldwell Memorial Scholarship. My scholarship, he funded it. His family name was on it. So why did they take it from me? I told myself to let it go. He'd just given me $50,000. He'd saved my future, even if he'd... No. That was crazy thinking. But I couldn't stop. I went to the university on Monday, asked to speak to someone in the scholarship office. The woman at the desk was polite but firm. I'm sorry, but scholarship decisions are confidential. We can't discuss individual cases. It was my case, I said. I just want to know why it was rescinded. I'm sorry, I can't help you. I tried the financial aid office, the registrar, even emailed the dean. Nothing. Dead ends everywhere. So I decided to dig on my own. That night, I created a spreadsheet. The Warren J. Caldwell Scholarship had existed for 12 years. I found the names of every recipient online, university press releases, LinkedIn profiles, local news articles. There were 43 names total. I started reaching out, cold emails, LinkedIn messages. Some people ignored me. Some responded politely, but didn't know anything. But 3 people told me the same story. Megan Torres, 2019 recipient. Scholarship rescinded 2 weeks before school started. Reason given, administrative review. David Park, 2020 recipient. Scholarship rescinded after 1 semester. Reason, failure to maintain eligibility standards. He had a 3.9 GPA. Jessica Brennan, 2021 recipient. Scholarship rescinded before she even accepted it. No reason given at all. 4 of us. 4 people who'd had our futures ripped away by the same scholarship program. I called Megan. She was working as a cashier at a grocery store in Ohio. I don't like talking about it, she said. It messed me up for a long time. I just need to understand why, I told her. There is no why. That's the worst part. I called the university 100 times. I wrote letters. Nothing. It's like they just decided I wasn't worth it. Her voice cracked. I spent a year thinking I did something wrong, that I said something stupid, that I embarrassed myself. But I didn't. After I hung up, I sat in the dark for an hour. 4 lives derailed. 4 futures erased. Why? I decided to go to his office. Caldwell Properties was downtown. A gleaming glass tower with the company name in chrome, letters 30 feet tall. I wore my only dress shirt. Took 2 buses to get there. The lobby was all marble and modern art. Security desk, receptionists who looked like models. "Can I help you?" one of them asked. "I'm here to see Richard Caldwell." "Do you have an appointment?" "No, but..." "I'm sorry, Mr. Caldwell doesn't take walk-ins." "I'm the person who saved his life." That got their attention. 2 minutes later, a woman in a sharp suit appeared. 40s, blonde, all business. "Mr. Webb?" "Yes." "I'm Christine Aller, Mr. Caldwell's executive assistant. He's asked me to express his gratitude again for your heroic actions." "I don't need gratitude. I need 5 minutes of his time." "I'm afraid that's not possible." "Was he involved in revoking my scholarship?" The smile froze. "I'm sorry?" 4 years ago, I was awarded the Warren J. Caldwell Merit Scholarship. 2 weeks later, it was rescinded. I want to know if Richard Caldwell was involved." "Mr. Webb, I'm sure there was simply an administrative..." "Was he involved?" Her expression hardened. "I think you should leave. I saved his life, and he compensated you generously for it. Now, I'm asking you politely to leave." Security started moving toward us. I left, but not before I saw something. Through the glass wall of a conference room upstairs, Richard Caldwell, alive, strong, healthy, because of me. He didn't recognize me. That night, I kept thinking about it. His face, alive, strong, healthy, because of me. And the more I stared at the screen, the more something didn't sit right, so I started digging. I looked up his family. That's when I found him. Thomas Caldwell, Richard's son, early 20s, smiling in every photo. White coat, stethoscope around his neck. He wanted to be a doctor, just like me. He attended the same university, the same pre-med track, the same scholarship, the Warren J. Caldwell Scholarship, the year before mine. I read the obituary once, then twice, then again. Car accident 3 years ago. Sudden, tragic, and slowly. The pieces shifted. This wasn't about discrepancies. It wasn't about eligibility. It wasn't about performance. It was about grief, and I had walked straight into it. The next morning, I went back, Caldwell Properties. Same glass tower, same marble floors, same security. But this time, I wasn't there for answers. I already had them. Christine saw me. "You should let this go," she said quietly. "Why did he revoke it?" I asked. She didn't answer immediately. She just studied me, like she was deciding whether I deserved the truth. Then she said, "Because you reminded him of someone." My throat tightened. "Who?" She hesitated, and then, "His son." He agreed to see me. This time, he didn't make me wait. Richard Caldwell walked in slower, less polished, more tired. "You figured it out," he said. "You revoked my scholarship because I reminded you of your son." Silence. Then yes. No defense. No explanation. Just yes. That almost made it worse. "Do you have any idea what that did to me?" I asked. He didn't raise his voice. "I buried my child, and you buried my future," I said. That landed. For the first time. He looked away. Not angry. Not defensive. Just exhausted. "You think I don't wake up knowing what I did?" he asked. "Then why do it?" He stood, walked to the window. For a long moment he didn't speak. When he did, his voice was quieter. I couldn't watch another young man live the life he was supposed to live. That wasn't cruelty. That wasn't power. That was broken. And it cost 4 of us everything. I saved your life, I said. And I paid you, he replied. That wasn't justice. That hit him. He turned back toward me. I can fund your education. He said it slowly. All of it. Undergrad, medical school, everything. My heart pounded. For a second, I saw it. White coat, graduation, Maya stable, my father proud. But, he added, you signed an agreement. No public story, no interviews, no lawsuits. Silence. You walk away. So do I. The room felt smaller. If I exposed him, it would take years. Years I didn't have. Money I didn't have. Maya needed security. The others deserved their futures. This wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about time. I swallowed. You fund Megan, David, Jessica. All of us. He didn't answer immediately. That silence felt longer than anything he'd said. Finally. Fine. Not warm, not noble, but done. Years later, I stood in a hospital. Not delivering food, wearing a white coat. During my rotation, they wheeled in a patient. Chest pain, possible heart attack. I looked up. It was him. Richard Caldwell, sweating, afraid. For a split second, I saw the man who stole 4 years from me. Then I saw a patient. Marcus, he whispered. I didn't hesitate. I did my job, because that's what doctors do. We save lives, even complicated ones. He survived. Weeks later, a letter arrived, handwritten. He said he was sorry, not publicly, not legally, but personally. He said seeing me in that hospital, seeing me become what his son never got to be, made him realize what he almost destroyed. I became a doctor, not because of him, not in spite of him, but because I refused to let someone else's grief define my future. I couldn't save my father, but I save other people's fathers now, every single day, and maybe that's enough. If this story meant something to you, subscribe, because some battles aren't about revenge. They're about becoming who you were meant to be.